Hello again. Welcome to another edition of Daytime Ottawa right here on Rogers TV. My name is Dylan Black. We kick off the program talking yoga and nutrition. Joining us right now is Selina Rose. She is a registered holistic nutritionist. Hello, Selina.
Hello, Dylan.
How are you?
I'm great. Happy to be here.
We're happy to have you here. Now, you've got to something called E&A, so that's Eats in Asana Westboro.
It is, okay. Yes.
Can I ask you what asana is?
Yeah, asana.
Asana. So I'm saying it wrong.
There's different ways to pronounce it.
Yeah.
I pronounce it asana, but it's the physical practice of yoga, so the actual movements and postures of yoga. So eats being food, asana being yoga. It's a nutrition and yoga course.
That's interesting. You don't really hear those two put together as often as they should be.
I think, right? Because there's so many aspects of yoga and yoga philosophy that we can bring to the table with us, and I'll share some of those with you today.
Okay. On your website, one of your quotes, I quote, it says, your greatest contribution to everything is your own best self.
Yes.
So explain what you mean by that.
Well, that is really the idea that when we are healthy and we're well, we can contribute more to the people around us, to our workplaces, to the projects that we're involved with. And in that way, we can present ourselves in the best way. We can be of service to other people. You know, it's the idea that if you're not well, then it distracts you. You don't have the same presence that you bring to your relationships or to your workplace or the people around you. So it's really taking that great care of yourself so that you can serve the world in the best way.
Well, you need to be on top of your game.
Yeah.
Okay, so in relation to that, to expand on that, mindfulness is very important as well. So what does mindfulness mean to you?
Mindfulness to me means being grounded, being present, having an intention for anything that you're doing, whether it's a phone call, a meeting, a conversation, and any kind of interaction with people is just being grounded in the present moment.
Okay, so you apply this, it's a 7-week course?
It's a 7-week course.
Okay, so how do you apply this to the course?
We talk a lot about food and different food principles, eating for energy. We, of course, bring in mindful eating as well. And we discuss how being grounded in our bodies at meal times helps us to have a greater sense of when we're full, when we're hungry, and, you know, what kinds of foods feel good in our bodies, what things don't feel good in our bodies. And we cultivate that sense of grounding and that mindfulness through the yoga practice, through breath practice, through meditation, so that it becomes more of like a ritual that you carry out throughout your days.
Okay, mindful eating. No, doesn't sound always easy to do.
No, especially, well, this is what I wanted to demonstrate here today. It's kind of like we've got a desk setup going on. So usually we're eating at our desks or we're eating with tons of distractions around. So, you know, you've got your food, but then you have your computer, you've got your cell phone that might be going off, maybe you've got some other work that you're doing. We're so distracted in today's world, and it's always go, 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 one thing to the next. And what I'm suggesting is that we start to take back some of that control and ground ourselves through our meal times and use those meal times as anchors throughout the day so that we can come back to ourselves and regain our sense of presence. Okay,
so how do you do it? Because I'm terrible at my other job, sitting there at the desk, and I get overwhelmed. I start eating terribly. I don't know why, just to fill some kind of void that throughout the day to make things feel better with my work day. How do you do it?
So there's some key steps. Step number 1 would be actually setting yourself a place to eat. So even if you are bringing your lunch to work in a container, bring a bowl, bring real utensils, maybe even a placemat to set yourself a place to eat so that it feels special, it feels like a break. So that would be step 1. And then when you approach your meal, to give yourself a few minutes to just breathe. Just maybe even close your eyes. You can do one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest, and just get yourself centered, because we're so distracted and our energy is usually up here and outside of ourselves. We want to pull that all in and ground. So breathing before you eat. And then expressing gratitude is step 3, which is so important because our food passes through so many hands before it gets to our plates. And being in a state of gratitude helps to turn off our stress response, helps to release happy hormones in our bodies so that we're ready ready to receive our food. And then step 4 is to chew. When you're eating, focus on what you're eating and chew your food really well. Savor the flavors that are happening in your mouth and really just be present, be all there with your food.
You're not concerned that some of this might look a bit odd in the workplace, though?
You know what? I get that question so often. And I think if it's the type of thing that makes you feel better, your digestion is better, you're able to contribute more to your workplace afterwards because you're not having indigestion, you're not feeling, stomach disruption or any symptoms after you eat, why not?
Yeah.
And it's your health.
Exactly. Who cares what people think? Right?
Well,
as long as you feel better.
Exactly. And you don't have to make a spectacle of it. It could be as simple as like taking a few deep breaths before you eat and then doing a really good job of chewing and eating with no distractions.
Okay. All right, tell us about the course then.
So the course is 7 weeks. We talk about yoga and nutrition, and we really meld the two together. So for example, when we learn about how to eat for energy, we learn how to build energy in the body through nutrition. Sessions are on Sunday evenings, 6:30 to 8:30 at Inside Out Studio Bar on Wellington West.
Okay.
And sessions are 2 hours. So for the first hour, we have an interactive discussion about nutrition. Everybody gets a manual, so they get to follow along with the material. And then we move into more of a yoga practice. And the yoga practice is different from just going to a class at a studio. It's really geared towards helping you have a deeper connection with your body, so that you can understand the cues that your body is sending you and put that into practice when it comes to changing your lifestyle.
Sounds good. SelinaRose.ca for more details.
Yes.
We appreciate your time. I feel better already.
Great. Thank you.
We've got more Daytime coming up right here on Rogers TV. I'm Dylan Black. Don't go anywhere.